In this video, we will cover the general ledger reclassification tools. On the OSHPD report, there are two sets of reclassifications that we do. The first set is for patient revenues, and the second set is for operating expenses. They are the same three tools and operate in the same way, so covering one will cover both. I'm going to go over the operating expenses. The first thing we'll want to visit are my operating expense tags. A tag is essentially a classification of general ledger accounts under a common name. For example, drugs sold expenses. This would be any accounts that fall within this sub-account range on any department, any worksheet, any line, and any column. So any general ledger operating expense that meet this criteria will be tagged as drugs sold. Another example can be a specific account like management fees. This will be within the general ledger operating expenses. Anything that matches this department sub-account criteria will be management fees. This tag could have even been made more specific, and I could have specified that account on a specific worksheet and line combination. So how tags are set up is first, you pick a standard name from our drop-down list, which is just some common general ledger tags that we've observed. Or you can enter in a custom name. Any of the criteria that you list across the same row is inclusive, so all of the criteria would have to be met. So if you specify a specific department on a worksheet and column, only the general ledgers that match all of those criteria will be tagged. In contrast, any criteria that you list vertically is an OR. So you can have a specific department or another department, or another sub-account, or a specific line or worksheet line column. So any tags you set up, the data across the row, all the criteria will have to be met in order for that account to be tagged that way. Anything listed vertically is an OR. So now let's cover our special tags, which are these first three listed and denoted by a star. These are special tags in that they're standard or should be standard for all providers. And the first two, drugs sold and medical supplies, actually drive another tool, which is the Report 19 statistics tool. That tool will lift the general ledger accounts as mapped or tagged under these two special tags. If you didn't set those up, then you may not get some medical supplies and drugs sold accounts on this export. The physician compensation is kind of a standard tag that should be set up and a standard reclass that should be set up to move your physician compensation from the report or page 17 and 18 expenses over to the physician expense worksheet 15 and 16. Another thing to note is you'll want to make sure your tags are specific and not too broad, because previous reclasses can affect subsequent reclasses. In this example, let's say I moved all my medical supply expenses out from all of my patient revenue cost centers. Then I'm going to want to set up my nursery reclass out of OB, but I want to make sure I'm only pulling the expenses that are left over in the OB line. So I want to make sure I select the department, worksheet, and line combo. If I didn't select the worksheet or line, this reclass might pull some OB expenses that I already moved out to the drug sold line or medical supplies line and involve them in this reclass. So reclasses can affect each other if your tags are not specific enough.